Dad, how have you been? I have some amazing news to share with you. I'm getting married!
Oh, wow! That's great! Your mother never mentioned that things were so serious between you and your boyfriend!
Actually, Mom didn't know that I was in a serious relationship either. I only told her yesterday, so she was pretty surprised. I wanted to tell the both of you in person, but it seems that you're really busy, so I texted you guys instead.
You're right. I've been pretty busy lately. But this is important. I can make time for you. When do you want to come over?
That sounds great. Let me check my schedule and get back to you. You'd be surprised to know that you've already met my fiancé.
What do you mean by that?
You'll see when you meet him. I'm so excited.
Okay. What's your fiancé like?
He works at a company that happens to be one of your clients. His name is Nate. Does that ring a bell?
Oh yes, it does! I know Nate! He works in sales, doesn't he? He's really good at his job, too. Well done! You picked a good guy to marry.
Well, it's not like I selected him from a group of men or anything. We just found that we have a lot in common. Anyway, I look forward to introducing you and Mom to Nate.
How about next weekend? Does that work for the two of you?
I think so. I'll write it down on my calendar. See you next week then. I'll make sure that Nate is available too. I'll get back to you when I know for sure, okay? Oh, I heard from Mom that you've been working on the weekends as well. Don't work too hard though. You need to rest too. What are you working on that is keeping you so busy?
I suppose it just means that my position in the company is becoming more senior. Being promoted isn't all fun. It means more responsibility, too.
Oh, so that means you got a promotion then? But why did the company lower your salary? It doesn't seem fair.
What are you talking about?
Mom told me that they lowered your salary, but you've been working longer hours with no overtime. I don't think that you should let the company abuse you like this.
They're not abusing me! You don't need to worry about that. I've been assigned some new tasks, and it's taking me some time to get used to them. Your mother shouldn't have said anything to you.
Oh. Alright then. I guess that makes sense because Nate tells me that your company takes great care of its employees. He told me that it didn't make sense that they were making you do more work for less money.
You don't need to be concerned. I can take care of myself. Nate doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't even work for the same company that I do. He'll understand when he's older and more mature. Besides, I'm getting benefits that are only available to people in my position. But because we get these benefits, we're not allowed to charge for overtime. So basically, I get paid an annual salary and no overtime. You get how it works now?
Of course I knew that. What I'm trying to tell you is that it doesn't make sense that they lowered your annual salary. If you got a promotion, your salary would stay the same or be raised.
Look, I don't want to talk about this anymore with you. I need to get back to work now. See you next week.
You're still working?
I am. So I really don't have time to be talking to you over chat. I look forward to sitting down with Nate and getting to know him better.
Okay. See you next week then. Good luck with work. Mom, don't you think that Dad's been acting strange lately? I feel like he's hiding something from us. I agree. He's not quite himself these days. But hey, you don't need to worry about it. I can handle your father on my own. I told him my wedding date, but Dad didn't seem too interested. It kind of felt like he already had plans on that day. It feels like he's not even excited that I'm getting married. Me getting married is kind of a big deal. I expected him to be more enthusiastic than this. I'm sure that he's thrilled that you're getting married to Nate. He just has a weird way of showing it. Work is keeping him really busy and he hasn't gotten the chance to be happy about your engagement yet. He won't miss your wedding though. He loves you too much. Perhaps we can all sit down and talk about things when the time is right. What do you mean by that? You're making me think that something bad is going to happen to our family. I'm an adult, Mom. You don't need to hide anything from me. I can handle it. I don't want Nate to pick up on the fact that things are awkward in our family right now. You have a point. I was planning on telling you, but I didn't want to ruin your engagement or your wedding. I haven't said anything to your father about this, so will you keep it between us for now? I want to process things before I go and have a talk with your father. What do you need to process? I won't tell Dad, so please, tell me what's going on. It seems that your father is in love with someone else. What? So he's cheating on you then? Yes, but I didn't want to say anything until your wedding was over. I can't believe that Dad would do this to you. It's unforgivable. I'd like to have a word with him about this. And that's exactly what I don't want you to do. Let me talk to him when I'm ready. I'm still sorting things out. I'm also gathering all the evidence that I need. Wow. You're really handling this on your own? I'm proud of you, Mom. If Nate ever cheated on me like this, I'd go crazy. Yeah, it's best not to be cheated on. But if you have been, then the best way to deal with it is through revenge. I'm going to make sure that my plans don't interfere with your wedding, though. If it were just an affair, I might have been able to get past it, but the person he's cheating with is the other problem. What do you mean?
I'm in the middle of work right now. I can't pick up the phone right now.
How could you be at work right now? Call me back, now!
I'm still working. I'll get back to you later.
It's Saturday! And do you know what day it is today?
I'm on a business trip. I'm busy. What do you want?
Do you really have to ask? You're unbelievable!
What do you mean by that? I'm working. Show a little respect. Now stop texting me. I've got to go now.
I can't believe that you're the one getting mad about this. Do you understand what you're doing to our family?
What do you mean? I'm working for my family. I really have to go. Stop bothering me.
You're so clueless, it makes me sick. I'm ashamed to have you as my father. I really hate you right now, and you're not the person that I thought you were.
What's with all the name calling? You're the one that's bothering me. Why are you so pissed? Now can you please let me get back to work?
Well, what kind of father forgets about his own daughter's wedding?
What?
I can't believe that you didn't come to my wedding. And I won't ever forgive you for it. So you forgot about my wedding because you were so preoccupied about going on your stupid trip with your young lover? Did I get that right?
Wait, how do you know about the trip?
Can you really call yourself a good father and husband after what you've done? You're dating someone that is close to my age. And you're so obsessed with her that you forgot to come to my wedding. How could you?
Wait, today's your wedding?
Yes, it is! Well, it's too late because you've already ruined everything. The wedding is over. And you didn't walk me down the aisle like you promised you would. I despise you.
It was an honest mistake. I didn't forget out of spite. Miranda, I'm so sorry about this. I'll find a way to make it up to you.
It's too late for your apologies. The damage has already been done.
But
You hurt me and Mom enough by having an affair, but on top of that you forgot to come to my wedding? How could you?
I'm on a business trip, not a holiday. It's not my fault. And I'm not having an affair. This is all a big misunderstanding.
I see. So you're just going to continue lying to my face then? I spoke with the CEO of your company. He told me that you aren't on a business trip. Does that mean that he's the one that's lying?
You spoke to the CEO?
Well, he was at my wedding, so I thought I'd ask. I thought that it was strange that my father missed my wedding. When do you plan on telling us the truth? You can't run from this.
Why was the CEO at your wedding in the first place? Your wedding's not that important.
I see. So that's how you feel about my wedding then?
That's not what I meant. Your wedding is important to me, but why to our CEO? He doesn't know you personally.
You haven't been listening to anything I told you, huh? My fiancé Nate is the son of the CEO of your client's company.
What? So you're marrying the son of a CEO?
Yes. So the CEO of your company attended as a guest of Nate's family. You should have known all this. Most of senior management was at our wedding.
Oh my. This can't be good for me.
No, it's not. And you're the one that caused this to happen. Are you starting to realize the gravity of your actions? Mom and I are in a really awkward position because of you. Well, your punishment is coming your way, so be prepared.
I'm on my way to the wedding venue right now. I'm sure that it's not too late.
I already told you that it's too late. The wedding is finished. So there's no point in you coming here. I'm cutting all ties with you.
Isn't that a little extreme? Give me a chance to make amends. I'm your father. You can't cut me out of your life.
Well, what kind of father forgets about his daughter's wedding to go on a trip with his lover? You're not my father anymore. And Mom feels the same way. She wants nothing to do with you. She's going to divorce you.
Divorce? She hasn't said anything to me about that. How many times do I have to tell you that I'm not having an affair? What can I do to have you believe me?
You're a disgrace. Why don't you stop lying? No one believes anything that you say. And you can't deny it because I already know the truth. Do you know why?
Are you just making this all up?
Then how come I know how old your lover is then? Mom hired a private investigator, and she has all the information about your affair. Your lover happens to work at the same company as Nate.
I can't believe that your mother hired a private investigator!
Well, she was smart to do so. I don't consider you to be my father anymore. I don't want you to get in touch with me ever again. Nate already told his parents about your affair.
So Nate's father knows?
Yes, he does. And Mom told the CEO of your company. Practically everyone knows about your affair now.
How can she do this to me?
To you! You did this to us! Why don't you have a talk with your CEO and see what he thinks about your affair? That is, if you even have the courage to ask for a one-on-one meeting with your CEO.
Miranda, I apologize about missing your wedding. That was not my intention. You have to believe me.
It's too late to regret anything. It's already done. Your life as you know it ended the minute you decided to have an affair. You chose a really bad person to have an affair with as well. And it was stupid of you to plan a trip with her on the same day as my wedding.
How many times do I have to apologize about missing your wedding? I'm really sorry and I mean it. I'm going to make it up to you.
And how are you going to do that? Well, you just pay the alimony that you owe Mom and leave us alone. Mom and I are no longer on your side. You're on your own.
Do you have to be so hard on me? People make mistakes. We all do. Let me explain, and I'm sure that you and your mother will find it in your hearts to forgive me.
Well, I don't have the time to listen to your lame excuses. There's never a good reason for cheating on your spouse. I got married today, and I'm happy. I don't need my former father trying to ruin it for me. Please stop texting me.
I've been a good father to you. You can't cut me out because of one mistake.
You may have been a good father to me in the past, but that's in the past now.
What else do you want me to say?
Good luck with your life. It was nice knowing you. Have a happy life with your love. Miranda's father, Sean, showed up at the wedding venue, but it was too late. All the guests had already left. Miranda blocked his number, so he was no longer able to get in touch with her. Sean's wife, Melanie, filed for a divorce and requested that he pay her alimony. Sean ended up borrowing money to pay the alimony to his ex-wife, and he was kicked out of the house. Things became uncomfortable for Sean at the workplace, too, and he ended up leaving. Sean's lover quit her job, too, but things weren't so bad for her because she got married to her young fiancé. Sean was all alone and lost everything that was important to him. If only he hadn't been so stupid to start an affair. We can't help but feel a little sorry for what happened to him in the end.
Hey, Robert! Can I come over to your place today?
Hey, Arya. Sure. It's my day off tomorrow. You want to stay the night?
Ooh, sure thing! I'll head over after I bought some things for tonight's supper and breakfast in the morning. I just have a few things to take care of here, then I'll be on my way. See you later!
By the way, Arya, I've been thinking of asking you this for a while now.
What?
How would you feel about us living together?
Huh?
We've been dating for a whole 3 years now. We stay over at each other's houses at least 3 times a week. Seems like a waste of money to be paying rent and utilities for 2 apartments that are empty half the time. I thought it seemed like all the more reason for us to finally move in together.
You want us to live together? Do you mean at my place or yours?
No, if we did, I think it'd make more sense to rent a new apartment together. Or something someplace close to both of our jobs. Moving is definitely an option. What do you think about us living together, Arya?
If you want us to live together, does that mean you're also thinking about what comes next?
By what comes next, do you mean marriage?
Yes, marriage. You're 26, but I'm already 29. If you want us to live together at this stage, I kinda got the impression you might be thinking about us getting married one day too.
Of course I'd like us to get married one day. Or rather, I already had marriage in mind at the point I asked you out. If we move in together and everything goes well, will you marry me? Never really intended to propose to you during a conversation like this, but I guess that is kind of what I'm doing.
Marrying you. Well, I'm not opposed to the idea of marriage, but... What's your salary?
Huh?
What's your salary? How much money do you make in a year? Just a rough figure is fine.
My salary? It's about $45,000 a year right now. If I was to say what I actually take home after taxes and whatnot, it's probably somewhere just below 40K.
What? It's that low?
Huh? Is that low?
It's even lower than I imagined! There's this guy. He used to be in my class at school. He makes 60K. He works for an elite company. They're super prestigious.
Well, I guess it differs depending on where you work. But isn't salary determined in large part by how long you've worked for a certain company? I only graduated university 4 years ago. Cut me some slack.
Maybe so, but 45,000 is still far too low. If you want me to live with you and even my hand in marriage one day, you should be making at least 75,000. We won't be able to get by on such a low income.
I really don't think it's low enough to be classified as low income. We wouldn't struggle to get by either. Plus, I think it'll go up gradually in the future. The longer I'm with the company, the more I'll earn.
Not the future. I need to make more money now. There's no way I can marry someone who takes home less than 40,000 a year. If you really want to marry me, won't you think about changing jobs? To somewhere you can make over 75K a year?
Changing jobs? Are you serious? There's no way I can do that. Besides, I can't just waltz into some new company and expect them to put me on 75K a year right off the bat.
You'll find somewhere that pays generously if you look. You're just not trying hard enough. Surely, if it's not that much, if you mean it when you say you want to marry me?
What even is this? Is money the only thing you care about? I'd want to marry you even if you were penniless, because it's you I like and not your bank account. Is money the most important thing to you? Was all that time we spent together until now meaningless? All the time we spent whispering sweet nothings into each other's ears a lie?
Come on, Robert. It's not like I'm saying I hate you or anything. But things like living together and getting married cost money. If we went ahead with everything on our current salary, I'd have constant anxiety. I'll be turning 30 soon, and my biological clock's ticking. I won't be able to have kids forever, you know. So if you want to get married straight away, I can't do it unless you make over 75K.
Even so, switching jobs and doubling my salary isn't something I can do at the drop of a hat. You need to be more realistic about this. It's not like I don't have circumstances of my own to consider.
So basically what you're saying is that you don't really want to marry me at all? Is the thought of working a little harder and making more money to provide for me really that awful to you?
Is this all I was to you all along? Why would you even say that? I had no idea you were like this, Arya. You're totally obsessed with money. Be honest, I feel I'm finally seeing your true colors.
No, I'm the one who's seeing your true colors. I thought you'd be making way more than you are because of work from a prestigious company. I just wasted 2 years of my life. It's over, Robert. I'm breaking up with you.
We're after my money this whole time. Fine. I think it's for the best. I have no interest in being with a woman who suddenly starts asking about my salary as soon as the question of marriage is on the table.
Well, I have no interest in being with a worthless broker like you either. Don't even come near me again. If I even so much as see your face after this, I'll report you to the police for stalking. Goodbye. Hey, Robert. Long time no see.
Huh? Who's this?
Don't be silly. It's me, Arya. Surely you didn't forget your ex-girlfriend.
Oh, Arya. I didn't realize who you were for a moment. Why are you messaging me after all this time?
No reason at all, really. I was wondering if you had a new girlfriend yet, though.
That's none of your business.
Oh, me? Well, since you ask, I got a new boyfriend last year. He's in his 50s, so he may be a bit of a grandpa. But he earns over 60K a year. I'm over 30 myself now. So I did lower my standards a little bit from the 75K a year high roller I originally had in my sights on. But he still earns way more than you. In fact, you're so incomparable, it's kind of tragic.
Oh, cool. Pleased to hear it.
Let's face it, only guys raking in serious money were ever gonna have a shot at dating a girl like me. Me and you were a mismatch right from day one.
Yeah. That's great.
You probably haven't managed to get a single girlfriend since we broke up, right, Robert? I can tell you why that is if you like. It's because you're satisfied with a pitiful low salary. How do you expect to be able to bag yourself a decent woman with such a lazy attitude towards life? If you want to have a shot at marrying a princess like me, I suggest you work harder and start bringing more money in.
My current salary is $92K a year.
Huh?
You still seem to think I'm only making $40K. But my current salary is $92K a year. I did tell you before that my salary would go up in time.
What? Are you joking? There's no way you're on 92K. You're lying. How the hell did you end up making that much?
I'm happy for you to think I'm lying if it makes you feel better. But if you want to know how I make this much, first, I quit the company I was at when we dated, so I could start helping my parents out with the family business.
Your parents? The family business? I didn't know your family ran a business. What is it?
Didn't I tell you? My family runs Jinko Heavy Industries. Have you heard of it?
Jincho Heavy Industries? Have I heard of it? Is there anyone who hasn't? They're a major global company famous across the world. Wait, hold on a sec. No way. Are you saying you're the son of the CEO of Jincho Heavy Industries?
It's kind of embarrassing to call myself the son of the CEO, but yeah, I guess I am. I quit my old company 4 years back, a year after we broke up. I started working at Jinko Heavy Industries immediately. I'm currently working with my dad, who, like you said, is the current CEO, so I can learn everything I need to take over the business one day. That said, I am still doing actual work, and I'm already bringing in some decent results myself.
Why didn't you just get a job at a family business in the first place? You would have made even more money by now if you did that.
The company rule is that the successor has to undergo a few years of training at a company in the same line of business. Then there was also the benefit of forging connections within the industry. My dad wanted me to learn about the industry, society, and the world at large by working at a separate company, where I wouldn't receive special treatment for being his son. I got into the last company entirely off my own back.
But why didn't you tell me any of this 5 years ago when we broke up? The ring would have been on my finger before you even had time to blink.
I hadn't been formally appointed as a successor by that point, and things still weren't set in stone. Anyway, what kind of guy goes blurting out, "Hey, sweet cheeks, I'll be a CEO one day," to his girlfriend? I'd hesitate to tell people even now, because it's still early days and I still have a lot to learn.
I see, so that's why. Okay, you passed.
What?
You passed my test. You're finally worthy of my hand in marriage. I always had absolute faith in you, Robert. I'm so proud of you. Okay, I'm ready for you to pop the question now. Go ahead as soon as you're ready. Don't be shy, honey. Here's a little hint. It's gonna be a yes.
What? Are you insane? I have no intention of marrying you.
What? Why? It's okay, Robert. You don't have to hold back with me. You worked so hard all these years so you could marry me. I have so much admiration for you. Your reward is awaiting. All you have to do is pop the question, sweetie.
I'm not holding back at all. I genuinely don't want to marry you. It's not like I did any of this so I could marry you either. I have no interest of being with the kind of girl whose attitude changes in an instant when she finds out how much money a guy earns, or what his position with a company is. You're the most shallow person I've ever met.
What? What do you mean I'm shallow? Aren't you the one who wanted to marry me? You're the one who asked me to marry you in the first place.
That was 5 years ago. But I seem to have a faint recollection of you turning me down based on my salary. Oh, that's right! My money was more important to you than the time we spent together or the memories we created together. being proposed to by someone who looked down their nose at me like that doesn't make me feel glad for even 1 second. In fact, it disgusts me. I think you're nothing but a nuisance.
But I told you, I didn't know you were going places back then. I might have said a couple of things that sounded a little harsh, but I want you to know, sweetie, it was only because I wanted you to succeed. Anyway, it's not like you have a girlfriend now, right? Just marry me, honey. You know it's the right thing to do. You'll never regret it.
I most definitely, unequivocally, absolutely, beyond any shadow of a doubt, will not be marrying you. Besides, I couldn't even if I wanted to. I've been married for 2 years now.
Huh? You got married?
We're having a baby in April next year. Our second, in fact.
What? No, this can't be. You can't marry anyone but me. I won't accept it.
I can, and I did. She's the same age as me. And she values me for who I am. My personality, and not how fat my wallet is. She's cute, she's kind. She really is the perfect woman.
That counts as cheating on me. You do realize that? Do you have any idea on how long I waited for you to achieve your potential so we could finally be happy together? To think you just tossed me by the wayside and marry some cheap floozy!
Give me a break. You weren't waiting. Didn't you just say you were dating a guy on $60K a year?
Oh, forget about him. I'll break up with that old man straight away. So please, will you marry me? You definitely won't regret it.
Actually, I think marrying you would leave me with nothing but regrets. Anyway, it's not happening. So just give up. Me and you were a mismatch from day one, after all.
I've been tricked. You're the worst. If I knew things would turn out this way, I would have just married you when you asked. Why is this happening to me?
Think of it as a lesson learned. The biggest fish is always the one that gets away. See ya! I immediately blocked Arya from sending me further messages. She was so desperate to talk to me that she went as far as showing up outside the company offices. She was in such a frenzy that she climbed over the security gate while screaming, "I'm Robert's fiancé!" The security guard's efforts to calm her down proving futile. The police were called, and she was arrested in the act of criminal damage and trespassing. Even while being dragged away in handcuffs, she defiantly screamed things like, "I'm the next CEO's fiancé!" and "My man's going places!" But since I'd already explained the situation with Arya to my parents, wife, co-workers, and friends beforehand, no one believed a word she had to say. Ultimately, she ended up promising never to come near me again. And the episode drew to a close with me receiving a tidy sum in fines and compensation. Arya's boyfriend dumped her when she got arrested, and her friends began keeping their distance, leaving her isolated and alone. This whole affair made me realize how foolish it is to focus only on what's right in front of you with no thought for the future. I learned some important life lessons myself.